coming to you live to give you some thoughts. Uh, the rap is not working. I'm just gonna tell you some thoughts about modern day society, some things that need to be changed that would be better if it was changed. Let me give you a explanation. I'm going to upload this video to YouTube. This is a video, so for anyone that's thinking that I'm talking to myself, don't be misled. This is a camera and it's turned on. This will be recorded. And it is already actually being recorded. Anyway, I just wanted to address that. So, I seen my cousins, my little cousins, right? I haven't seen them in a couple years. And so I noticed they got phones, which is not really, and now in these days, in these times, and around their age, 8 or 9, that's really become the norm. But you see kids at the age of 3, 2 years old, they have a phone. What the fuck? And I will not pardon my language. Do they need a phone for? 2, 3 years old. What are they gonna use a phone for? Why you can't let your kid play outside? Why you gotta put them inside? Put a phone in front of their face. Some technology. Look at the word, the root word, tech. Tech, right? Technology, okay? When you look up in the dictionary technology, what does it mean? Well, technology are things, basically. Things like paper and, it's a materialist, based on materialism, but people say we have advanced the technology. Okay? Technology in regards to cell phones, satellites, this stuff. Many different ways to be occupied now. People say I'm so bored. I say, well, I'll give you an instance. I talked to this woman in Houston. She said, man, I'm so bored. I said, well, what are you looking for? I said, she said, there's nothing to do here. Okay, I said, well, what are you looking to do? What is it that is lacking? Is it the city? No, it's not the city. I don't want to see the nature side, but there's nothing to do here. I said, there's nothing to do. There are no bicycles to ride. There's no parks to go to run, jog a little bit. There's no book to read. There's no way you can meditate. What else? What do you want? Well, and then she started talking about some technology and stuff. I said, well, what, man? Why do you want this so much, man? Why do you need to be entertained so much? And so we came down to the root, or her root problem, basically. That's what her problem, she considered this a problem. Well, there's no good movies out. I said, are you fucking kidding me? Who cares? I said, well, look, man. I said, man, there's no good movie out or whatever, new movie. So you've automatically come to the conclusion that there's nothing to do at all. I said, man, I couldn't wrap my head around that. I was just so confused. I thought to myself, man, this woman is beyond retarded. But I didn't want to offend her because she had her own problems like everyone does. But I suggested her some techniques. I'm going to talk about those techniques right now. Meditation. Meditation is basically a form of calming the mind and getting rid of the distractions. Exercise is a form of meditation because you're going through rituals, procedures, and you're not being focused on other. You're focusing your mind on one thing, which has no linkage to entertainment. You're not seeking that constant entertainment. You know, I need to be entertained. I need to hear this song. I need to watch this movie. I need to read this message on WhatsApp and this bullshit. Uh, then, so you have the exercise. That's one thing. You have basketball. You have sports. You have running. You have bicycles. You have all these things. What about you lay down and you close your eyes? You're not sleeping, but you're calming your mind. You're not even, or you're just focusing on one thing. Focus on counting, focus on your breath, focus on an image of a tree, focus on a color, a landscape, focus on your soul, focus on that energy inside of you, focus on your energy centers, your chakras. If you never heard about chakras, those are 7 energy points, 7 meridians, which the ancient Chinese have utilized, and it still continues to this day. And people are aware, if you're spiritual, about the chakras. And I can tell you where they're located, and I can tell you there are 7 primary ones, and there are other ones in surrounding areas. But the primary ones are the ones to be activated for different reasons. You have the top of your head, which they call the crown chakra. The crown, the top of your head. It connects you to the universe. It's a spinning vortex. Basically, a chakra is a wheel, is an energy point that could be activated if you meditate and focus on it. It can spin clockwise, which I don't recommend. You have to focus on trying to turn it counterclockwise, because if it's working counterclockwise, then it is circulating in the right way. Then you have the third eye chakra. That's what they call it, basically the pineal gland, which is, it's a gland, it's an actual organ in your brain. It's between your eyes, in that area. Basically forehead, you go down a little bit, you go right here. It's between your eyebrows, closer, closer to your eyebrows. Let's basically say in the middle of your eyebrows. That's energy vortex. That's linked to intuition. You can also experience intuition in the heart. If you feel like an event, you're at a certain place, something bad's gonna happen or something, you have that intuition in your heart. You feel that feeling in your heart, man, I shouldn't be here. This doesn't seem right. But then you also have that pineal gland is linked to intuition. It's linked to, acknowledging spiritual presence, not just on vibes. People say I can feel this person's vibe, but it goes deeper than that. You can cross an entire street and feel every single vibe automatically. Once you pass a person, you can tell. You can pass 1,000 people and you can feel vibratory signatures off of each and every one, which is different from the other one. You can tell apart which people have positive energy signatures, which ones have negative. Anyway, there's a throat chakra. That's close to the, what do we call these glands? The throat glands, basically. That's what I call them. There's another technical term for this. This is close to the thyroid glands, right? The thyroid. And this is also an energy wheel. And colors, let's say colors. The crown chakra is significant with the color purple, third eye, pink, and so if you meditate, you can meditate on that color and possibly open it up by meditating on the color. Close your eyes and try to visualize that color instead of dark. Your eyes are closed, it's not dark. It's now you're seeing color form, and this is the color, and then it's starting to activate. Or you could just focus on that center and try to activate it, whichever is easier for you if you've never meditated before. Then you have you have that throat chakra, right? Throat chakra is opened up, same way, counterclockwise, signified by the color blue. Which the throat chakra, if it's closed, you're in a state of fear. You're afraid to speak your mind, your true thoughts. When it's open up, you're not limited. You don't have fear to say what's on your mind, to be clear and concise about what's bothering you and troubling you. Your words carry a vibratory signature. It's working properly. You're getting the right air and oxygen as well to your lungs. And then you have the heart chakra, which we all know the heart chakra. Well, we don't all know that, but the heart chakra actually is not the physical organ, the heart. That is not where it's located. It's more located closer to the center of the chest. And in that area, symbolized by the color green. And I actually honestly will tell you, I forgot the attributes of what is linked to, and but I know that this is where it's located, and if you open up maybe and read up on it, you will see what it's linked to. Then we get to the solar plexus chakra. If you ever heard of the term solar plexus, means your core. Solar plexus means balance. You have this chakra located directly beneath your belly button, your navel, for one to be proper with the term navel. And this is symbolized by the color orange. And this, when it's activated, you're in a state of balance. You're more grounded. You're not confused in life. And there's other attributes as well, but these are the basic ones. You can, like I said, you can look up these chakras on the internet. This is just a basic introductory video linked to meditation, the chakras, and then I'm going to get into also the astral projection, the out-of-body experiences that people talk about. Then you have the sacral chakra. Sacral chakra is related to sex. Location is between the genitals and the anus, the asshole, basically. In that area, that little distance between. And I'm just being honest because that is actually an energy point. That's where it's located on women and men. When that is activated, you're in a more state, you have a more potent sexual energy. You are not as tired, and it can also result in fixing your sex organ, being more vital. And you could do that yourself. It's a form of reprogramming your DNA through opening up those energy points. Then the last one, but not least, which is the base, located at the base of the spine. It's called the root chakra because that's the root, that's the beginning, the base of your spine. It's symbolized by the color red. And for those of you who don't know astrology, red is a color mostly associated with people of the Taurus sign. And the root chakra, for most people who are Tauruses, their major malfunction of a chakra is the root chakra. And if they fix the root chakra, then it would be easier to open up the other ones. So it's preferred for people who are Tauruses to work on their root chakra first. You could also look that up on the internet based on your astrological sign. What is a suggestion of what chakral energy point to open up first? And you could see it yourself, read up on the attributes, read up on the characteristics, and you can see yourself which one are you having more trouble with in your life the most. Are you lacking balance, direction? Are you lacking decision making, intuition? Are you lacking the ability to speak for yourself? Whatever it may be. Now that's the end of that as a basic introduction. Now we're going to get into meditation, most specifically astral projection, out of body experience. There's a video, you can look this up too, 3 steps prior to having an out of body experience. It is recommended if you're a beginner to follow this instead of just meditating on your soul or some other things, because it's very complicated. Take it from me, I've tried that approach in these recent times, recent year, and it's more complicated. So we have 3 stages. You close your eyes and meditate on your breathing and formulate a thought. Basically, I want to have this out of body experience. The first step starts with, you have to notice your body. You have to start from your toes to your head, and you have to meditate and say to yourself, I want to numb my body. I want my body to be completely numb, where I cannot feel a single thing. You know that association where people say, my foot has fallen asleep. That's similar to that, but it's like your body is falling asleep. Your physical body is numb. It's like you're paralyzed. You can't move. You have to will that in your mind. Second step is a tingling sensation that you should focus on the tip of your toe to the top of your head. It's recommended because we're built from the ground up. If we lose our foundation, obviously we walk on our feet. We don't walk on our head. So you have to start with your foundation. And you feel the tingling sensation throughout your feet and your whole body. That's the second step. It's going to feel like itching, like you have to scratch because it's tingling. It's going to bother you, but you have to be still through that. You cannot move. You cannot be tempted to scratch because then you throw off the process. Then the third step is basically you'll feel your energy rising. You'll feel your spirit. Now, when you get to that step, it's recommended if you're lying down to focus on your feet first. Like I said, start with both of your feet, focus on the energy, moving it upwards, and then you continue until you have your whole body, you're feeling your whole body, your spirit basically is what it is, your energy starting to leave your body. I've tried that technique. I've tried the technique of laying down and trying to think about my spirit, my feet, my lower half of my body, like you're not physically sitting out of bed, but you're thinking about your spirit sitting and like willing your spirit to sit out of your body while you're laying down, to swing your spiritual feet, spiritual energy to the side, and then you sit out of your body and you're left laying down and you sit and you rise up. That's also kind of complicated. I'm honestly going to tell you, in 2012, I had more success because I was meditating a lot more frequently. And in that year, that was a year of a lot of spiritual energy was circulating that year. Don't listen to what people say, well, oh, the end of the world. No, it was the end of an age. That year was the end of the age. The Mayans never said it was the end of the world. It was going to be end of an age. Because if you look this up, every maybe 40,000 years or so, you have all the planets. Every single planet stops. You can look at it in the solar system. Earth, the moon, no, not the moon, the Earth, Saturn, all these planets, their orbits, they all come into a perfect position. Because when you have planets that orbit, you have the Earth, which has 24 hours a day. You have other planets which have other hours a day. So when you look at that, majority, they're not in the same line. One is rotating the other way, other one is rotating another way. But in that year, December 21st, 2012, that date, they were all in the same rotation, same exact position. I don't know what hour, what minute, what second of that day that happened and that occurred, but it was all in a line. Their orbits all came to the exact position. And this is a phenomenon that occurs every like 40,000 years or so. So that's why they said it was the end of an age. There's a lot of spiritual energy that year. And I can honestly say that year, I came close several times to having an out-of-body experience. But, you know, I love my family, but maybe it wasn't my time. Maybe I wasn't prepared yet, but they were distracting me. They were wake up. They thought I was asleep. They tried to get me to watch a movie or something. Anyway, I came close a couple times, so I know it's possible. And yeah, so that was a year of a lot of spiritual energy. That year, I successfully healed 2 people with my bare hands because of the energy that was flowing that year. So it's a lot of phenomenon. And basically, it was the end of an age. It was a transition of an age. I can tell you, and this will be the end of the video, this does not have no linkage to this video, which I was introducing meditation and these things. This is basically a video of thoughts. So some things are not all connected, but it's all these thoughts about meditation and things of that nature. Changing of the ages. And so I'm taking to, it was actually it might have been dead on 12 o'clock at night. It might have been 12:01. I don't remember exactly. It was around that time. New Year, January 1st, 2013. I'm walking the streets. So I'm like I told you, it's about to be New Year. Out of nowhere, all of a sudden, a car came, crashed to a pole. They didn't hit no driver. It's like the car, somehow they knew to move out the way just in time. It was like a scene from a movie. This car was going so fast, I thought to myself, how in God's name did this person, and this is where it's going to get weird, because I thought it was a person. How did this person hit this pole without hitting a single car? It's like they moved out the way. It's like some magnet pushed them apart at the exact time, so no car got hit. It was amazing. So I automatically ran to the scene. And I seen on the driver's seat that the airbag was depleted. So I'm thinking, where's the driver? There was a head-on collision with a pole. Why is there no blood? At least any traces of blood on the airbag? Anything? Where's this driver? Because when I ran to the scene, I distinctly remember. Now you have to take this in consideration. I was sober. I was not under any drugs at all. So I ran, and I expected I was going to see somebody come out the car, but this is quite honestly, bro. These things occur. This is real life. This is what I experienced, so that's why I'm so spiritual. And before that, I was spiritual. Now, I've always been spiritual, but anyway, this car crashed into this pole, man. I'm running to the scene. No one got out the car. The police came. They couldn't find nobody. They found a guy somewhere walking. They tried to blame it on him. What are your thoughts on that? Was there a ghost? Was the car, I mean, What happened with the car? Did the driver accidentally put it on cruise control, or what? What are your logical explanations about it? Because if the driver put it on cruise control, I mean, look, you got to think logically about this. Why would the driver put his own car in cruise control? And if the car is in cruise control around that year and the model of that car, which was a pickup truck and pretty old model, I don't think that car would be able to cruise control itself into a pole. Was there a problem with the brakes that were malfunctioning? I don't think so. I honestly don't think it was a problem with the brakes. My two theories on that is either there was an energy driving the wheel, which was a ghost energy, which was not a human being. It was like basically a ghost. Or another thought is that person that they found, maybe this person materialized. Maybe that presence who was driving the wheel was a demon or something, or whatever it might have been. It was in visible form, and then it popped up nowhere in physical form. There's so many things, man, that can't be explained in by logical reasoning. So I found that very weird, and taking into consideration the changing of the ages. Taking into consideration that December 21st was the last day in like 40,000 more years that we were going to have that planetary alignment. Then 10 days later, end of the year, January 1st, then that happens. Right now, we're in the age of Aquarius. But anyway, these are these thoughts I had and meditations and all that. Take it how you want it. I'm a spiritual man. I'm not going to deny anything I said. If you don't think that's normal, well, I don't think you're normal. Because I'm a person that's in tune with spiritual. I understand that this world is temporary and there's spiritual forces with us here and in the spiritual. I'm well aware of that. And I don't need a psychologist telling me what he thinks about that. Because all he does is read a book that another man wrote. That has no linking with the spiritual world. That is not a religious man. That's most likely an atheist, a non-believer. That doesn't believe in anything but books. So, take it how you want it, like I said. I'm done. I will post this video.